Hello everyone, this is Bloody Bananas. How's it going? Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to cover Empoleon yet again. I absolutely love the penguin in Great League, even though it's very squishy in Great League, but it definitely has a lot of play, and I just love playing around the Empoleon in Great League. So in this iteration of Empoleon, we're actually replacing the Altaria lead with the Mandibuzz, because generally Mandibuzz has a little bit more play against the steel types, and also it has a little bit more play against the Azumarill. Even though it still loses to the same Pokemon that Altaria loses to most of the time, but Mandibuzz is a little safer, and it's a little bit more flexible. And then in this video, we're actually running with the non-shadow Hypno with Focus Blast, so we're definitely gonna see some booms against the tanks, right? We utilize the Hypno as a safe swap, and if they swap into a steel type, we can threaten the shield or take back switch advantage with the Focus Blast. And without further ado, let's get into the battles. In the first battle, we have Mandibuzz against Hypno, one of the best lead probably that we could ask for. My opponent swaps right into a Hitmonchan. I think what I do is try to throw an aerial ace and get out of this matchup to farm all the way down with my Hypno. Fortunately, I think I misplayed here by throwing the move, because we ended up CMP tying, and this is very threatening, so I think I'm gonna lose a lot of health here. And then I'm gonna overfarm just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go into my Hypno, and I think 2 confusions will kill this Hitmonchan from this point. Actually, they got to another move, but Hypno is very tanky, especially since we have a non-shadow Hypno here. We got 2 confusions worth of farm, which is very nice. And my opponent comes out with a Stunfisk. Okay, so this is what everyone is here to see, right? We want to see the big Focus Blast landing right here. I don't believe the Earthquake will KO at this range. Non-purified Hypno is very tanky, right? We survived that Earthquake. Alright, can we get to the Focus Blast? We do get to the Focus Blast. This will almost one-hit KO the opponent if they don't shield. And we land the Focus Blast. That did tons of damage. We almost one-hit KO. The Stunfisk has a little bit of health remaining. We still have 2 shields. We have 2 very healthy Pokemon. I believe I just come out with Empoleon here. Yep, and I don't think I even shield this, because I was thinking that my opponent throws a Rock Slide 100% of the time. Oh, actually I do shield, but maybe I just I wasn't sure. Maybe I thought they could throw the Earthquake, but very fortunate that we still have our Mandibuzz in the back, which is very good counter to this Hypno. And all we need to do is land a foul play with the Mandibuzz, right? Let's see how we do it here. Okay. My opponent throws a Thunder Punch here. I definitely need to shield this. My opponent actually had a Fire Punch, so that's very interesting. I go for another Hydro Cannon, and then I have to swap out. So I guess my opponent probably have Fire Punch and Shadow Ball, possibly. Let's see, I have to swap out, and then I just have to go for that one foul play in order to almost finish off this Hypno. I believe they actually got 1 move off, but since they don't have Thunder Punch, it doesn't really KO. Okay, never mind. That was GG's. So that showcases the surprise factor of a Focus Blast on Hypno. It was just catching the opponent off guard, right? Okay, here against Azumarill, not a good matchup. We go into our Hypno safe swap. Do they come out with the Steel type, or do they stay in with the Azumarill? Okay, they're staying with the Azumarill, which is fine. Hypno is very good against Azumarill because of the Thunder Punches, and also because Hypno is very tanky, right? So I'm gonna go for 2 more confusions, and then I throw the Thunder Punch. My opponent is also very close to another move, so I might just throw the next Thunder Punch very quickly. I go for one more confusion, and then I have to throw this. My opponent actually got to another move. Do I shield this? I don't shield this because that was just an ice beam, and we should be able to survive it. We do survive it, and I go for one more Thunder Punch here. Hoping to either get the shield or we take back switch advantage, right? Alright, so we beat the Zoomer, so now we have switch advantage, which is very good here. That means we avoid the Scrafty with our Empoleon, right? We have our Mandibuzz matched up against this fighter, and our aerial ace will do super effective damage. It's not a lot of damage, but it's definitely adds up over time. So here we go for the first aerial ace. We'll do a lot of damage. Let's see. Yep, that's it's a very bad move, aerial ace, but fortunately we still did a good amount of damage. Here we're against a Stunfisk. I think we just need to shield this, and then even if they double bait, it's not the worst thing ever. They actually don't bait, which is even better, right? If they don't bait us, it's even better. But even if they baited us, our waterfalls are absolutely gonna chunk this Stunfisk away, and then we just have to farm down the Stunfisk. So my opponent gives up there after we shielded the Earthquake, and good game to my opponent. That still ended up kind of close, because if we didn't shield the Earthquake, then we might have lost that game. So good game. Here we're against a Cresselia. Again, very good lead. Very, very good lead. Opponent actually had a confusion, so it's a even better lead, because he's gonna get to the Moonblasts a lot slower than the Psycho Cuts would. So it's very good. We go for a foul play. My opponent probably gets a Moonblast right here after 5 confusions. It will do a lot of damage, but Mandibuzz is also very tanky. We don't have the best Mandibuzz. It's actually a hundo, but it does what it does, which is being an absolute tank. And yeah, I really enjoy Mandibuzz compared to Altaria, because you definitely have a lot more play against the psychic types. Especially a lot of people play psychic type safe swaps. Here we make a swap to catch a Moonblast from the opponent Cresselia, so that we then have to spend a shield. And my opponent came out with the Obstacle, which is exactly what we want to see, right? We want to see the Obstacle here, because Obstacle beats my entire line. So I have to see the Obstacle here. Otherwise, the Obstacle was going to beat my Hypno, and it's going to beat my Empoleon. I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. If this lands, it will one-shot the Obstacle. My opponent's going to farm me all the way down here, which is not the best thing. But we do go for the Focus Blast. Does it land? Nope. My opponent shields. My opponent is a party pooper. But it is what it is. You can't land every Focus Blast, and my opponent was very safe, and they decided to expand a shield. But at least now they're down a shield. I believe I actually shield this, right? Oh, I don't shield this. Okay. I'm thinking that I'm gonna land 2 aerial aces. I'm gonna land 1, right? Because they still have a shield. Hopefully they don't shield the aerial aces. They don't do a lot of damage to this Obstacle, but I do want to chip down this Obstacle as much as possible, so that my Empoleon could get a little bit farm. Let's see. We go for the first aerial ace, and I'm gonna go for the second aerial ace as well. I need to grab another shield or get this Obstacle very low, and then I have to swap out right away because I can't afford to get farmed down here. Yep, so I swap out right away. I have to. My opponent gets to another cross chop. I have to shield this, otherwise I would be way too low here. Let's see what my opponent had in the back. My opponent actually had a Pelipper in the back, so this is not looking very good. Obstagoon really handles my backline here. Um, doesn't matter which version of the team. If I had Altaria in the lead, in this case, it might have been better. Because Altaria, the Dragon Breaths can absolutely destroy the Obstagoon, but here we only have Aerial Aces to chip down the Obstagoon, so it kind of, in a way, the Obstagoon sweeped my entire line, which is fine. We can't beat every single Pokemon, right? There's way too many Pokemon in Great League, and there definitely will be some that beat our line. No matter what kind of line you have, you're always going to be weak to something. And Obstagoon is that Pokemon that we're weak to, right? So unfortunately, we couldn't win that game. And next up, we have Mandibuzz against Stunfisk. This is not the worst matchup. Obviously, for Altaria, this will be extremely bad. But fortunately, Mandibuzz actually could hang against Stunfisk because we have completely neutral damage with our Foul Play and Snarls. So, and also we could tank the Rock Slides very well against a Galarian Stunfisk. I believe I actually tank one and then I go into my Hypno, hoping that my opponent either swap out, and then hopefully we can take back switch advantage. Oh, actually I went into Empoleon. This is very interesting. I do get a grass type baited out here, a Venusaur. This is also a very common core in Great League. So when you see a Galarian Stunfisk, there is generally a Venusaur in the back, or a what is it called? Or a Tropius in the back. But Tropius is less common because not everyone has a Tropius. So here, this person had a Venusaur. Actually shield the Frenzy Plant and then farm all the way down. That is incredible because my opponent didn't shield the Drill Peck. That allowed my Empoleon to farm down their Venusaur. So now I could actually threaten the shield here, I believe. I don't shield this because I thought this was probably a Rock Slide and it doesn't KO. But my opponent did go for the Earthquake, which is okay because he went for the Earthquake and now he doesn't have any energy left on the Stunfisk. So now I get a jump start on energy with my Hypno. Let's see. I'm also counting the mash shots. I think he has an Earthquake right here, so I tried to catch it on my Mandibuzz. Did we catch the Earthquake here? If we caught the Earthquake, that would be very good. Oh, okay, we do catch the Earthquake. That pretty much ensures the victory at this point, because now their Stunfisk is basically completely useless, right? They threw all their energy and they didn't get any damage done. Yeah, and now they ended up having a Deoxys in the back, and they couldn't stay in because they were just gonna give more farm to my Mandibuzz. And here I think I could get another Foul Play off, right? Let's see. Get a Foul Play? Nope. I do have to shield this because my Foul Play would do the most damage here against this Deoxys. Actually, it was just a Psycho Boost, so maybe we could have survived that. And they went for another Psycho Boost. We should definitely survive this after the first debuff. Yep. Okay, so we still had a good amount of health there after tanking the second Psycho Boost. So here we got the Foul Play off, which is huge. And they came out with the Stunfisk. All I have to do is farm it all the way down. My opponent probably gets to an Earthquake, which is fine. Because my goal is just to farm all the way down and then have a lot of energy against the Deoxys. Here I could actually go for the Focus Blast, just for good measure, but I decided to play safe and go for the two Thunder Punches, which will certainly KO this Deoxys, Defense Form Deoxys. So very good game to my opponent. So I think catching the Earthquake there was kind of important. And we were able to take that game. So very good game to my opponent. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, next game. Let's see it. Okay, we're not queuing up for some reason. Okay, there we go. Okay, Mandibuzz against Hypno. Again, extremely good matchup. Let's see how we play this. Oh, they save swap into a Azumarill. Obviously, we go into our Hypno, which is a very good response against a Azumarill. We actually tank a Hydro Pump really well as well. So let's see how we do. I'm gonna let the first one go, even if it's Hydro. The regular Hypno absolutely tanks it. Here I go for one more confusion, and then I throw this Thunder Punch, which should force a lot. We should do a lot of damage, or maybe my opponent decides to shield. Okay, I go for back to back. I want to force a shield here. I want to dictate this matchup, right? So I want my opponent to shield first. Okay, we do get a shield. That means I can safely shield the next move my opponent throws. I want to ensure that I win this matchup with even shields, right? I don't want to go down a shield, and I don't want to lose the switch advantage. So here we get to the Thunder Punch here. And we should force another shield, or we win switch advantage here. Okay, so we do get rid of the Azumarill, and now we're looking pretty good. I think here I'm gonna over farm a little bit, just to fake that I have the Shadow Ball to my opponent. I'm basically saying I could have the Shadow Ball. Do you want a shield? And let's see. Did my opponent shield here? Thunder Punch. My opponent does shield because he thought that we had a Shadow Ball. And so I'm just gonna swap into my Mandibuzz. I think my Empoleon could handle this Hypno anyways. And they had a Skarmory in the back, which is absolutely fine. My Empoleon will just finish the end game by itself. And there's really not much my opponent can do at this point. All I have to do is chip this Skarmory down, which isn't even necessary. Even if my Mandibuzz dies right here, for whatever reason, we could definitely still finish off the game with just our Empoleon. Because Empoleon is a very good response against Skarmory. That's why I love Empoleon. Alright. Here I could also just save a move and then go into my Empoleon when the switch clock is back up. Do I make that play? No, I just go for the foul play. I have a shield. I have a full health Empoleon. There's not much my opponent can do at this point. Probably go into Empoleon right here. Get one waterfall, and my opponent, does it surrender? Nope. Okay. And then we get the Hydro Cannon here to finish off the opponent Hypno. Very good game. Very good game. GG to my opponent. So that was a very solid set. I think that was a 4-1 with this team. We also got placed earlier, but that will come in another video. I'm gonna make a video on the games that I played for my placements, which was rank 20. We're gonna see that next time. Here we have a Chestnut, which is again a very good matchup for Mandibuzz. Not much my opponent can do. They go into the Stunfisk. Obviously, we're just gonna farm. We're gonna come out with Empoleon and then waterfalling. Hopefully, waterfalling all the way down. Depending on if my opponent baits my shields. So my opponent went for the Earthquake straight up. Very good, very good. So now I just need to throw the Hydro Cannon here. Yep. If they bait with the Rock Slide, it kind of gets risky, depending on how fast you swapped out. But generally, Empoleon will win this matchup, even if your opponent bait with Rock Slides twice. So that's good to know, right? They went for another Earthquake, so we could definitely safely farm this Stunfisk all the way down. And now we have some energy remaining as well. Let's see, does my opponent come with the Chestnut? Chestnut is double weak to flying because it's a fighter and it's a grass type. So all I have to do is go for one Drill Peck. This will almost certainly get a shield. I still have 2 counters to the Chestnut in the back. So I just want to swap into Hypno as soon as possible, right? I do swap into Hypno right away. They had a Bastodon in the back. So guess what we're going to see, guys? Guess what's going to happen? Guess which charge move we're gonna go for here. Take a wild guess. Take a very, very wild guess right here. Okay, nice Stone Edge. Alright. We see some red bubbles here. Let's see if we can hit all the red bubbles. We do. Focus Blast. Boom. That is incredible. That is incredible. That is incredible damage done to the Bastiodon. Absolutely love to see it. Isn't that the most satisfying thing in Go Battle League? When you see that when you see that Bastiodon getting hit by a Focus Blast. That felt really good. Alright, here we just go for the double super effective aerial ace against the Chestnut, which should almost one hit KO here. It does one hit KO. Very nice. Alright, good game. Good game to my opponent. Next up, we'll have Mandibuzz versus Altaria. Okay, this is not a great matchup. This one I kind of wish I had my Altaria, which would be a lot better. So I'm going to go for one foul play, and then I'm going to try to catch their Sky Attack on my Hypno, which they should be able to get to the Sky Attack with one more Snarl that we do. So I do one more Snarl, I swap out hoping to catch, my opponent doesn't throw the move. They had a Sableye in the back. Okay, so far it's looking like hard counter. My opponent throws a move here, which is good because I don't want to leave a lot of HP for my opponent to farm extra energy, right? Well, this is not the best situation, but let's see. Alright, and then here we come in with the Mandibuzz. I'm gonna go for the foul play and then try to farm down the Sableye here. I think. Let's see. Throw the foul play. My opponent doesn't shield. Makes sense. The Sableye already did its job. This might be a return, which will do a lot of damage, but I can't shield. I can't really afford to shield. It's actually just a power gem. That wasn't a purified Sableye, so it doesn't really have return. I believe the Altaria will come back. Do I make a catch with my Empoleon? I do go for Empoleon catch. My opponent didn't throw, and it's a Zoomerl in the back, so this will be a very, very low matchup. I should definitely sped these battles up because this Empoleon versus Zoomerl matchup will take a very, very long time. Alright, I think that was that a Hydro Pump? It's actually a Play Rough, so I guess my opponent doesn't have a doesn't really have Hydro Pump, or maybe they just want to go for Play Rough and see if they get a shield. They get an extra bubble, which is very unfortunate for me. I believe my win condition here is just getting a lot of energy and then hopefully also catch a move with my low health Mandibuzz, right? Even then, it will be very tough. My opponent actually had Hydro Pump, but they didn't go for it the first time, which is kind of smart because I had two shields. It was very likely I was going to shield, right? My opponent actually got to another Play Rough, so there is almost nothing we can do here. I needed to get the Mandibuzz to catch this Play Rough, but I believe I miscounted the bubbles because there was one that got through that I didn't see. So he got to the Play Rough one bubble sooner than I expected, and I believe we're gonna lose the game here. My opponent probably has two Sky Attacks here. Let's see. There isn't really much I can do here. Go for the Drill Pack. My opponent shields. I had a foul play stored. If I could get to another foul play, then maybe, but my opponent actually goes for the Sky Attack because I believe he has two Sky Attacks here, and it's very safe for him to just go for the double Sky Attacks to finish me off. Yep, he does the two Sky Attacks. Very well played by my opponent, but that was kind of a hard counter team as well. It would would have been better if I just stayed in and then gracefully lose that matchup against the Altaria. Or we could probably go down a shield and wind switch advantage, so that my Hypno could avoid what's it called, the Sableye, right? Here we have Mandibuzz versus Politoed. It all depends on if we get hit by a Blizzard. I really don't think my opponent has Blizzard, especially on a Shadow Politoed, because if you have a Shadow Politoed, 2 Earthquake will certainly KO an Azumarill, right? So it's definitely worth for them to have an Earthquake here. So I don't shield this. I'm just betting that they don't have the Blizzard, and they don't have the Blizzard here. So they just go for straight Weather Balls, which is the correct play. Eventually, I think we have to shield maybe. But Mandibuzz is so tanky. Look at those Weather Balls. It actually doesn't hurt us as bad as you may think. So here my opponent goes for another Weather Ball, but it doesn't KO. I'm gonna get to 2 foul plays here, and just 2 more Snarls. And that will threaten my opponent's shields. Or we just win switch advantage. We just win the lead here. Does my opponent shield? My opponent does shield. Okay, that's very interesting. So now I go for another foul play. This will get another shield, right? Because otherwise my opponent's energy just go down in the drain. Let's see. Okay, so my opponent does shield here. And now they're going to overfarm. I think they get way too greedy here. We get to the foul play. And I'm just gonna shield this because I reckon that I could just throw this foul play and win the lead matchup here. Yep, my opponent was I think 1 must shot away from the next Weather Ball, so very unfortunate. Or maybe he had it and then he wanted to farm a little extra, but that is very unfortunate for my opponent. Here I can't swap out because Sableye will destroy my Hypno, right? I have to let my Empoleon face up against this Sableye. And do I shield one here? Let's see. I do shield the first foul play. If my opponent gets to another foul play, that will be very bad. Here, I will throw the Hydro Cannon right away. I want to get rid of this Sableye as soon as possible. I don't want it to meet my Hypno at all, right? So now I'm gonna. They had a Jellicent in the back, so this is very interesting. It's actually Bubble Jellicent. 1 Shadow Ball will KO us. I think the correct play for me was actually swapped out a little early. This is still very dangerous because a Jellicent with Shadow Ball and then a little bit extra fast moves is going to 1-hit KO our Hypno, right? Here, my opponent had a little bit extra energy. This is going to be very, very close. I think I should just swap out into my Hypno a lot sooner. This actually makes it very close here. Yeah, so my opponent gets to the Shadow Ball here. He needs 5 more bubbles for the next Shadow Ball. And we got 1 confusion, so all we need to do is 3 more confusions before. So I think they're 1 bubble away here. Still very close. They just need 1 more bubble in order to get to the Shadow Ball to win this match. But luckily we got to the Thunder Punch before my opponent got to the next move, right? Next up, we are up against a Stunfisk. Okay, again, not a great lead. Not a great lead. Let's see what we do here. Do I go chip it down a little bit with the foul play and then tank a Rock Slide? I think that's the play that I generally like to go for. I'm going to overfarm a lot here. My opponent goes for a move. Again, I want to try to catch this move if possible. It's a Rock Slide. Mandibuzz is very tanky. It needs 3 Rock Slides for the Stunfisk in order to KO this bird. Very, very tanky. Very, very strong. I'll go for the foul play. Do I go for the catch? Oh, okay. I failed the catch here, which is a little unfortunate. Again, we don't need to shield this. We're very close to the next foul play. Oh my god. Okay, so that's a bug by the game, where when you try to make a sack swap, but it failed, but it swapped into the Pokemon you clicked on anyways after it. So that was very unfortunate. But luckily we actually saw the Meganium here. So maybe it's not all terrible. Here I was going for the Focus Blast because I wanted to threaten the shields or get the health to surprise my opponent, but he threw it just before I got to the 7 confusion. I didn't really have Fire Punch, so I didn't really feel the need to bait with the Thunder Punch. Here we go for an Aerial Ace here, and then I go for another Aerial Ace because my opponent was very close to a move, and I don't want to have to shield my Mandibuzz, right? I imagine the Stunfisk coming back here, and I'm gonna go into my Empoleon right away, and then we'll see what my opponent has. If he has a fighter in the back, then it's pretty much GG for me. But my opponent didn't swap out right away. I will shield this, I believe, even though it probably was Rock Slide. Yeah, I don't think he had enough energy for an Earthquake, but we're really low here. Oh, my opponent's gonna get to another Rock Slide here, I believe. Oh, it was actually an Earthquake. Okay, so good counting by me. Luckily, I kept counting there. So my opponent did have a Earthquake there. Very unfortunate. So we could have probably tanked the first Rock Slide, but good bait by my opponent. And then it's the same Azumarill matchup, which is very, very boring, right? We resist everything the other Pokemon throws, so this will take a while. Well, they don't resist the Drill Peck, but Azumarill is just too tanky. We're gonna tank and Hydro Pump here. Okay, it's just a Play Rough. Let's see. They're very close to the next one. I have to make a Sack Swap. It's probably my only win condition. Even then, I don't know if I will win. Even if I make a perfect Sack Swap here. Let's see. 1, 2, I have to swap here. Okay, I do make the perfect Sack Swap. So now we do have a fighting chance, right? We do have a fighting chance. It was just an Ice Beam. Okay, so I have to throw a little bit early before my opponent gets to the Ice Beam. My only win condition is farm all the way down and come out with 2 moves against the Stunfisk. But my opponent still had a shield, so good game, good game. There wasn't much we could do here. Here we're against Abomasnow, very bad lead. We have to swap out right away into Hypno. And they had a Sableye in the back. Alright, I guess we could... this is a very common team. I think a lot of people probably recognize this, the opponent's team. It's Abomasnow, Sableye, and very likely a Azumarill in the back yet again. But we'll see, we'll see. Maybe it's a different version of that team. But again, we're hard counter here by the Sableye. My opponent throws the move at the correct time, just before we could get the move off. So he got perfect farm. And now we come out with our Mandibuzz here, which is very good against the Sableye. We do have to tank a return, unfortunately, which does a lot of damage, but Mandibuzz is very tanky, so we could definitely soak this damage. It is a return. Okay, we're gonna farm a little bit more, and then we go for the Foul Play. Just before they get to another move. We definitely don't want to take too much damage here, and we're very close to an Aerial Ace, and Aerial Ace will threaten this Abomasnow, and if they don't shield, this will do a lot of damage. And that would be very good for us as well if they don't shield. They end up not shielding, so at this point I go into my Empoleon. I'm gonna get as much damage done here with our Waterfall as possible. My opponent got enough energy here for an Energy Ball. And then I want to shield this because it will almost one-hit KO us. And of course it's in his Azumarill in the back. Luckily this time we're one shield and we were energy ahead, right? We had a lot of energy build up. So if we shield this Hydro Pump, it's actually looking not bad at all. We do shield the Hydro Pump, so now we have a lot more play. I just have to make sure that I come out of this matchup with energy, or we have to get rid of their shields, right? Here, I'm just gonna keep over farming. My opponent, it's very easy to trick your opponent. When you over farm a lot of energy, they might lose track of how much energy you have, right? So that's why I just keep over farming. I think I'm gonna keep over farming here as well. Do I go for a sack swap? Okay, I think that might be a CMP tie against my opponent's what's it called? Hydro pump. Okay, so here is when they get to the hydro pump. I could have gone for a sack swap to tank the move with my Mandibuzz, but I decided that I was gonna tank a hydro pump anyways, and I could. Their Abomasnow is extremely low, almost in within our waterfall range, right? I think 2 more waterfall will almost KO. Let's see. Okay, very low, but I think I have to swap out here. Okay, yep. Alright, and then 1 Snarl finishes off. 3 waterfalls and 1 Snarls was able to finish off the Abomasnow. Very, very close. I really enjoyed this team. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles as well. Focus Blast is a lot of fun, especially if you can land it on the Bastiodon. In my next video, I will go over the battles that I played in my placement matches to get my MMR calibrated. So look forward to that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I tried out a lot of different teams when I was very close, so it will be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will enjoy the next video as well, and I will see you guys in my next video.